How we doing, YouTube? Going to be doing a beer review here for you. Beer sent to me by none other than AverageJoe. Big thanks to him. This is another beer from the excellent brewery Founders, which I've had some very amazing beers from in the past. Founders Imperial Stout. And where's it? 90 IBUs on this sucker and 10.5% alcohol by volume. So she's a big little puppy. Yeah, kind of like the label art. It's got this sort of family medieval crest kind of thing going on. I don't know how well you can see that in the camera. Kind of looks nice. So we're going to open it up here. It's kind of weird how they make so many like just big porters and stouts and stuff like that at Founders. Like, seems like they almost have like oversaturation of those sort of beers. But I'm not complaining, of course. Just pour it out like motor oil. That head looks about as dark as 1050. Wow. It might be a very deep mahogany ruby red kind of thing, but it looks solid black right through. Just a total fucking abyss right there. A little bit of a head, a lot more head than I thought would even show up on a 10.5% beer, and it is pretty much the same color as Oscar Blues 1050, really. So we'll just do a little bit of swirling here without trying to spill out of the glass. I think I poured a little too much in here, but cheers. We'll go right to the aroma. You know, and it actually does smell a lot like 1050. Honestly, a lot of these beers tend to smell the same. You get a lot of the same notes, but very strong, like cocoa powder and chocolate kind of thing going on. I think the one thing this doesn't have in it that, say, a 1050 or an Imperial Stout of that sort has is it doesn't have that fruity sweetness in the notes. It doesn't have, like, in some cases, like it's either like a fruit sweetness or like licorice or something along those lines. This doesn't quite have that. It's much more on like a cocoa powder, chocolate, coffee sort of side of things. Not getting any alcohol at all in the nose. Yeah, it's one of those ones I could sit there and smell all day. It doesn't smell quite as complex as, say, like KBS or even just a regular breakfast stout, but that's no slight on this beer at all. So go right to the taste now. Cheers, everybody. Ooh, big dominant note on this is like a cocoa powder. It's almost like having cocoa powder on the back of your tongue. Sort of like peppering the back of your tongue, coating it. You know, it does taste a lot like 1050. It's not quite as good as 1050. 1050 is a bit more complex than this, but a lot of the big notes in this are a lot of the same as in 1050, like the big chocolate and coffee notes. Very dry cocoa powder kind of thing. Reminds me of the beer I had earlier too, the Storm King Victory at Sea, Ballast Point. Ballast Point, what was it? Storm King Victory at Sea, whatever it's called. That one was an Imperial Porter, of course, but that had that same drying cocoa powder thing, but this doesn't have the alcohol. A little bit of the alcohol coming up like that beer did. This isn't as dry on the back. It's much more subtle, but it still lingers very, very well. and it's a bit more of a cocoa sweetness on the back as well as it sits there. Big time espresso just coming up now. Mouthfeel is upper medium body. At times it even feels like maybe it's a bit more viscous than I think initially. Almost like espresso syrup or something like that if they'd put espresso in syrup form. That's really, really good. Easily drinkable. As you can see, I'm just sucking this thing back, which should be something I shouldn't be doing. Should be savoring this one. Because it's just that the alcohol isn't there. 10.5%, yet again, another beer from Founders where you just don't get the alcohol. It's just not there at all. It's really hard to place this, man, because Founders make so many other great big beers, and this is similar but different, a little less complex than like their breakfast stouts and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's still like an excellent Imperial Stout that sits up there with just about all the other ones I've had. I'm going to go 4 out of 5. I mean, I was thinking of maybe going higher, but the complexity quite isn't there as it is in some of these other beers. And that's really the only thing that holds it back. If you want a bit more of a simple, straightforward Imperial Stout with more on the coffee side of things, the espresso side of things, this is probably a very good bet for you, I'd say. So, very nice. The Imperial Stout from Founders, I'm going to give that a solid 4 out of 5. Any way you look at it, it's an excellent beer, and you know, if you're tired of, and I can't really see where this scenario would exist in reality, where someone would be tired of KBS or just a regular breakfast stout or anything, or some of their other big beers like Backwoods Bastard or something like that. I can't see where anyone would be tired of those beers, but just say you were, then this would be a nice, more simple, less complex way to go with Founders, but still bringing you a big ass-kicking beer at the same time. So, 4 out of 5, Founders Imperial Stout. Thanks to Average Joe for this one. Very, very nice. And we will see you guys later. Be good.